Gina from the Children's Museum of Green Bay. Today we're getting crafty and we're going to make a paper mache watermelon bowl. For this project you are going to need a balloon, some paper, either butcher paper, copy paper, newspaper, a thin type of paper, a bowl, some flour, and some water. And then you'll also want some paints and paintbrushes for decorating when we're finished making the bowl. All right, let's get started. We're gonna start by blowing up our balloon and making the mold for our bowl. So you're gonna wanna blow it up to the size that you want your bowl to be, all right? Maybe a little bigger than that. All right, and then tie it off. Okay. Now, you'll want to grab your bowl and put the balloon inside of it so it doesn't go rolling away. And then put that off to the side. Then you're gonna make your paper mache mixture, the glue that we're going to use to really hold all of our paper on to the balloon. So for your glue mixture, you're going to use equal parts flour and water, okay? I used 1 cup flour and 1 cup of water and mixed it together. If it's way too thick, add a little bit more water here and there so that you have a nice consistency. Here is mine right here. I already mixed it together. So you can see it's sort of thick, but it can drip off my spoon pretty easily. All right. Now I'm gonna grab my balloon back and look to my paper. So I have all my paper here. This is a fun part for some of the littles to get involved, to cut or rip your paper into little pieces. So take your paper and take those big pieces and rip them into small pieces. When you do the paper mache, this is a chance to get pretty messy. So if you are doing this, you know, it might be something fun to do outdoors, or make sure that you put some tablecloths or something down on your table because the glue mixture can get a bit messy. All right, I'll do just a little bit more here and then we're ready. Now, I'm gonna take my balloon and the end that is opposite of where I tied my balloon off, so the rounder part, I'm gonna have, that's gonna be the base of our bowl. So I'm gonna put that towards the top. I'm gonna take my mixture here of flour and water, and that's gonna be our glue, and I'm gonna stick my fingers in. Now you can use a brush if you want, but my fingers work just as well, and it's a little more fun that way too. I'm gonna put a little bit on my balloon here so that my paper will stick to it, just like that. And then I'll put a piece of paper down. And then I'm gonna put my fingers back in my mixture and put it back over the piece of paper, okay? I'm just gonna keep doing that. It's kind of like a collage. We don't want any holes, so keep putting more and more paper, overlapping it on top of each other, because once this dries and we take the balloon off of it, if there are any holes in it, there's gonna be holes in the bowl, okay? Now, once we put the paper all over it and get one layer, you might want to put a couple layers. I would suggest doing 2 to 3 layers. One layer is going to be a very thin bowl and it won't stand up as well. It won't be very thick and durable. So do a few layers. This is a great project for multiple people to work on together. Also a great project to do in steps. You know, spend the week working on it and every day do a little bit more. Now when we paper mache this, we're not paper macheing the whole balloon. We're going to stop halfway down the balloon. So right to about here, about halfway, just to get that bowl shape. All right, I'm gonna keep working on this and putting more and more pieces on, overlapping, putting the mixture on top of it to let it stick, putting more layers on, 2 to 3 layers on, so that it's nice and thick and durable. right. All right, so I'll keep working on this and I'll see you in a bit. All right, well, I've got quite a bit of paper on my balloon now. Just putting my last layer on. I think I've got a good 3 layers on here all the way around. And as you can see, it's all the way around my balloon. Okay, about halfway down. Now we need to wait. So we're gonna put this into a safe spot and just let this air dry. We're not gonna be able to do our next step until this is completely dried and hardened. All right, I'm gonna take this to go let it dry. All right, I'm back with my paper mache mold here. I actually let it sit overnight and it has gotten hard, as you can see. So we need to take it off of the balloon. So you can get a scissors or something and cut your balloon and pull your balloon off of the mold. All right, you can keep a bowl here because there is going to be some extra flour and stuff that comes off of that. All right, and now I have my bowl shape. See that? Now it's very rough on the top, so if you want to grab a scissors, you can cut the top of it and smooth it out. So I'll just do that quickly because I don't want any of those rough edges at the top. After I'm done doing that, then I can decorate it. And of course you can decorate it any way you want. You could do your own design. Today I'm going to do a watermelon bowl. So I'm going to do a watermelon design on it. So I need to get my paints and get ready to do that. Now, if you have any pieces that are kind of sticking up, you can cut those off too. I have a piece in the middle here that is a piece of paper that was kind of just sticking up. It wasn't really down, very well, so I'm just gonna get that. But when you put the paint on, that'll help it to stick down a little bit more. Okay, I think I'm ready. So I'm gonna put out a placemat. And I'm gonna paint the inside of my bowl first, because if I paint the inside, then I can flip it over and I can paint the outside and I don't have to worry about the inside getting smudged or anything because it won't touch the table. So for a watermelon design, I'm gonna use green and red, and then I'm gonna have a little bit of white, and of course black for the seeds. All right. Black doesn't want to come out. Well, I'll work on, there we go. Got a surprise on that one. I don't need much black because it's just the seeds. Ooh. That one's getting near the end. Okay, so let's get my paintbrush and I'm gonna start with my red and do the whole middle on the inside red. Okay. I'm using a big foam brush for this, just because it's a big space that I wanna paint and I feel that that covers a lot of space more quickly. And since it's paper mache, there's gonna be some little nooks and crannies. So the foam brush works well at, if you can pat it in, you can get those little spaces. You can see that? And I'm gonna do that pretty much up towards the sides of the bowl, because of course the red is the fruit part of the watermelon. And the rind, which is the green, and we're gonna put a little white on the rind too, doesn't need to have quite as much on the bowl, on this part of the bowl. The outside we're gonna have be like the outside of the watermelon. So the outside is gonna be all green. All right. I might actually need a little bit more red. Do you like watermelon? That's my favorite fruit. So I'm so excited. Oh, the top came right off of my foam brush. I'm so excited when summer comes around and we start getting watermelon again. It's like a treat. All right, I'm almost done with my red. Now, if you didn't do a watermelon, you could also do a different fruit. You could do an orange. What other round fruits are there? A kiwi, a lemon. And this bowl is paper mache, so obviously it can't get wet, but it's a cool decorative bowl to put out at summertime. And yeah, put whatever you want inside of it. Okay, let's take a look at that whole inside. Now you can see at the top there's still a little bit of space there where we're going to put a little bit of the rind. So I'm going to do my white first, because the rind a lot of times has a little bit, like a little line of white before we get to the green. So I'm going to add that white line first. And then I'm gonna move to the green. And maybe we'll leave the seeds to be the last thing that we do so that it gives the red some time to dry. And you can use black paint for the seeds, but you could also, if you let it dry, you could also use a marker. I'm gonna need a little more white. All right. As you can see, I almost have my white all the way around. There we go. So you can see that. There we go. And then a little bit of green right at the top. Again, there's going to be some little nooks and crannies. So the foam brush works well to get into those. If it's hard to hold, you could get your bowl back out that it was sitting in and place it in the bowl, because it does get a little challenging to paint it on the side like this. But again, doing the inside first is important because then I can hold the outside and I'm not getting paint all over myself. All right, once I finish the inside of the bowl, I'm gonna move to the outside and do the whole outside green. So let me show you how far we are here. There we go, like that. So I'm gonna keep working on this and the outside, and then I'll check back with you once we have it almost finished. All right, as you can see, I've finished up the outside of my bowl here. All green, and there's the inside of my bowl. If you wanted to, you could take a little bit more white, and you know how sometimes the rind, the outside of the watermelon has those like lines? You could go from the middle of the bottom here and just put some lines down. Now, I'm gonna do that first here, and then I'm going to blend it in with some more green because we don't want it to just be like big lines like that. So I'll take my green and then go over it so that you can't see it as well. You don't have to do that, but it's an option. And then, like I said, the only thing that we have left to do is make the seeds on the inside. And if it is dry again, you could grab a marker, a black marker, and draw them in if that'd be easier for you. There we go. Or you can use some paint and paint them in. I have some paint. So I got a skinnier paintbrush because I want the seeds to be small, right? And a seed is like a teardrop shape. So pointy and small at the top, and then a little bit bigger towards the bottom. You can put some of those on the inside. And once you do that, you'll be done painting. Now, if you wanted to, you could add another coat to this of like a Mod Podge, a decoupage, so that your bowl would be sealed and it would look glossy. It would look a little shiny. So that's up to you. If you like the, you know, duller matte look, you could keep it. But if you want it to be shiny, once it's all dry, then just go ahead and get some of the Mod Podge and put it all over to do a coat of that, and that would look really cool. Okay, I'm putting my last seed there. Here we go, and there is my finished bowl. Put that on a table. What a fun summery bowl to have. Well, if you make a bowl out of paper mache, we would love to see it. Please post it in the comment section. Play well, learn well, and be well. We'll see you next time. Bye.